Hi there, my name is MC Yoda, and welcome to my hardcore series where you get to choose my fate. That's right, much like a choose your own adventure book, you get to choose how I proceed from episode to episode. In today's episode, I am going to concentrate on farms. Not this kind of farms, more like this kind of farm. So if you've seen my last few episodes, you know that this is my board of directives. These are the things that you have been telling me that I need to do each episode. And these awesome directives are coming in at a pace that's a little too fast for me to keep up with, so I've been tracking them here on this board. The one category that has so many things backlogged that I'm actually starting to track them in the book is farms. So in this episode, we're going to build some farms and get that list a little bit shorter. So let me gear up and collect some materials that I'm going to need to build these farms and get this episode started. Okay, I am all ready to start building my farms, but first I got a couple of things to take care of. If you missed last episode, we found these 4 new friends in the jungle down south, and each one of these got a name suggested from a viewer in last episode's comments. One of them was from Redneck Chemistry, and that was for the red parrot to be named Polly. And the next one was the yellow crested parrot here, and this one came from Headless Not a Horseman to name this one Steve. And this name is in honor of the late great Steve Irwin, because this breed of parrot is actually native to Australia. Very cool tribute. And the next one comes from Sonino Dev, and this was to name the blue and yellow parrot Big Beak. And that came from a fun story about Sonino Dev's grandmother who owned a parrot, who named her parrot Big Beak in her native tongue, due to a pretty funny story that Sonino Dev shared in the comments. And the final one is this blue parrot, where Redneck Chemistry wanted me to name this parrot Jimmy. And this is in honor of Jimmy Buffett, who we recently lost, a singer and entertainer who's been around for decades. And looking at the way I'm dressed, I am obviously a fan of his. Alright, so that's our 4 new parrots, and for now I think they're just going to hang out here. I don't really have a home for them yet. In fact, I'm starting to get a bunch of animals that I don't have homes for. But of course, there's something on the board that might remedy that situation in the near future. So until then, some of these critters are just going to have to hang out on the dirt and in boats. So now let's get to the farms. There's a few farms I want to build this episode. One of them is going to be a very small farm. Then we've got a medium-sized farm. Then we got 2 big ones. Now, I didn't say mega farms, just big. So the first little farm, all of its contents are here in this barrel, and it's going to be about similar in size to this one. This is a farm that I made to get glow lichen. And for now, I'm just going to build it kind of just here in this area, because I don't have anywhere to really build this kind of stuff yet, because I haven't gotten any directives to yet. That's a problem we might want to consider taking care of soon. But for now, this is about the only dry land I have here at my base, so this is where I'm going to build the farm. And this farm idea came from Chelsea F28, and that is a sea pickle farm. Yeah, Chelsea noticed a couple episodes ago that I found a coral ocean down south, and thought it would be nice to farm some pickles and start sprinkling them around here so we can kind of light up the bottom of the ocean. And this pickle farm is one that comes from XB Crafted of Hermitcraft fame. And I'm going to go ahead and build it really quick, and I will definitely leave a link to this farm in the description if you want to build it yourself. And I'm done. So this is the farm. It's pretty small and compact, and it is all self-sufficient. You just fill up these 2 dispensers with bone meal, and then you turn it on with this switch, and hopefully this will work. Is it working? I'm not sure if it's working or not. It is not working. Okay, I think I fixed it. Take 2. All right, please work this time. Okay, it still doesn't sound like it's working. Not sure why. Nope, I just went through another bunch of bone meal. Okay, one more try. I had this block backwards, so we'll see if this works. I am really running low on bone meal, and I'm only stuck 10 in each one for now. All right, everyone, cross your fingers. What? Come on, what's it doing? Okay, I'm pretty sure at this point it is built correctly, but sea pickles don't grow every single time you bone meal them, so I think I'm just going to have to run up into my mob farm up there and get a bunch of skeleton bones and hope this thing is really working. Okay, we'll just take a few of those. All right, let's try this again. I hope this time everyone actually does cross their fingers, because you never know, maybe that was the problem. Okay, I'm going to put a half a stack in each one. All right, here goes nothing. There they go. You can hear the squishy sound. Oh, wow. Holy cow. Okay, well, an entire stack of bone meal. Let's see how many we got. Wow, 16 from an entire stack of bone meal. Yeah, we'll definitely need a bone meal farm to be able to use this thing. But it worked. We now have a pickle farm, and we can farm up as many sea pickles as we can get stacks and stacks of bone meal for. And then we can start decorating up the floor of our little base area here. Awesome. That was a great suggestion, Chelsea. Before I run off to do the next farm, there was something I wanted to do. And that involves these carrots and some gold. And we turn those into golden carrots. Gonna grab a few hay bales and one of the horse names out of our Ultra Mega Randomizer 9000. I'm sorry, Super Ultra Mega Randomizer 9000. What name are we gonna get? We got Horsey. It's like a play on words. Horse C, get it? That name suggestion came from Saninho Dev, and that one is gonna go on our next horse that we breed. And let's see, where's my boat? Let me get my boat first. Yeah, so for the next farm, I'm going to go over to Westland to actually build it, and I'm going to have to take a horse. So I figured this would be a great time to breed up another horse to see if we can get one faster than Ed. All right, so let's go ahead and feed Charybdis and Ed. And, oh, stop shoving. Hey, guys, you got all the room that you need. Okay. All right, excuse me. Standing on my boat. Ed. Behave. All right, so the new little one is Horsey, and we're gonna have to make you grow up. Hopefully 10 will be enough. I think Charybdis there ate like 7 or 8. Oh. I wonder if he'll grow while he's in the boat. Nice. All right, now I'm gonna have to tame Horsey. Oh, come back here. Get out of the water. Oh, you horses. Okay, let's see. I'm going to tame you in the water. All right, horse C is tamed. So let me go ahead and throw the saddle on. Now let's test your speed. It's about 11.3, which is a little bit slower than Ed. I believe Ed is 11.5. That is blocks per second or meters per second. Yep, Ed is 11.5. So Ed is still our fastest horse. You just don't want any of your kids to be better than you, huh? All right, well, the sun is back up, and me and Ed here are going to run off to the Westlands, which is this direction. Yep, so once again, I've got nowhere really to set up these farms, so I'm going to set this one up over here in Westlands, and I'll just come to it whenever I need it. It's not something I'm going to need too often. All right, here I am at the Westland Beach. Let me tie up Ed. See if I sold any seashells. Ooh, look, we sold one. Nice. I will have to remember to restock that. So I don't want to build this farm here on the beach, so I'm actually thinking there's that kind of ugly rocky spot over there where I'm going to build these farms. So actually, Ed, we're going to have to go over there. Yes, we got kind of this ugly rock area over here that I would never really even consider building much on, like nothing aesthetic anyway. So this is a great place to kind of put an ugly farm. So I've got some materials here to build the farm, and this was a suggestion that came a couple episodes ago from Tony Garces, and that is a cobblestone generator. So I have been getting a decent amount of cobblestone while I've been branch mining, but one of my builds today actually needs a ton of cobblestone, so this is a perfect time to go ahead and build this farm. And this is a really nice design that really doesn't use too many complex ideas, and it is small and compact, and honestly quite easy to build. And like all of these farms, I'll try to dig up the tutorial that I used and link that in the description of this video. All right, well I think I'm gonna build it just kind of right here in this area, and I'll see you in a moment when it's done. Okay, I am all done with this farm, and had a couple of visitors here while I was building that. And yeah, so this is it. Yeah, it's a pretty compact, very nice design. I really like this farm. Let me pop up here in the free cam and just show you the thing. We got a little TNT machine up here that's just going to drop TNT down the middle. It's going to kind of blow apart these middle pieces of cobblestone. Everything else will be protected by these waterlogged leaves. And then once that cobblestone disappears, this lava will kind of leak out into those spots and immediately turn back into cobblestone because it's going to be touching these other leaves filled with water. So yeah, it's a pretty nice design, and it should run pretty fast actually. So I think to activate it, you just have to climb up here. Be careful not to fall in. I believe we hit the switch and then the button and move out of the way. All right, that's working. Let me go back up into free cam so you can kind of see it in action. Yeah, so you can see the TNT blows out that all the cobblestone, and then that immediately turns back into cobblestone. And this is completely self-sufficient. I don't have to refill anything on it. And whenever I tested this out and create... Uh-oh. Well, that's not good. That shouldn't be happening. That shouldn't be happening. I'm not sure why it blew out the side of the wall there. Oh. It did it there and it filled itself back up. Okay, I'm getting hit by the TNT. I'm getting a little too close. Okay, I guess those outside ones repair themselves as well. Okay. I thought something was breaking there. Okay, that's interesting. But anyway, this thing actually runs so fast that it's gonna... Okay. I need to turn it off while I'm taking damage from it. Okay, this is a fun design. Here, let me... Oh god, I don't want to fall down there. And hit the lever. That should turn it off, hopefully. Okay, well that's it's dangerous, but it works. And just for that amount of time, it generated no cobble. Oh, geez. Okay, it looks like they're gonna get caught up on the wall there and not blow out properly. But let's turn it back on and see what happens. On, button, and jump. Oh. Okay, they're flowing out now. I think the first few just kind of got caught up. If we take a look, we've already got about a stack, a little more than a stack. All right, they're coming in pretty quick. All right, well, I'm going to let this noisy thing run for a while because I'm going to need several stacks of this stuff for another farm that's going to come later in the episode. So thank you for this suggestion, Tony Garces. I believe this one is done. All right, well, now I'm on to one of the two big farms I wanted to build today. And this one kind of came out of an amalgamation of several different suggestions and a very specific need that I have in the game. So back on episode 4, Daskalo suggested I make a mob farm at sea level, dropping the mobs to the sea floor to kill them. And I was trying to think in my head what that farm would actually be and what that would entail, because of course, I have the mob farm right behind me in the lighthouse, which is providing me not just XP, but drops from most of the mobs. And I also had a suggestion from Kirtiana, which was to make another ocean level mob farm, but in a tinted glass bottle. And as far as like the size and shape of a mob farm that would be effective for anything, I don't think a bottle would quite work, but the tinted glass is definitely something that can be done. And another very related suggestion came from Drew Kreft in episode 5, and that was to build a diagonally facing bottle made out of dark stained glass and turn it into a mob farm. Now I did play around with some diagonal bottles and creative, and woo, either it just ain't gonna work or my skills just aren't up to par, because they all just looked like random chaotic blobs of glass. So I don't know if the diagonal bottle is actually gonna be a thing. And now, if you saw last episode, I built that lighthouse behind me to hide the mob farm, and after I built it, I mentioned how I didn't have enough scaffolding because I don't have enough spider string to craft much of it. And as I start doing these larger builds, I'm definitely gonna need scaffolding. Well, last episode we jumped down into an abandoned mine, and I was hoping to find a spider spawner down there, but if you saw that episode, that abandoned mine was really disappointing. It didn't have much of anything in it at all. So my next farm is going to be a spider farm at ocean level, right up here, and it's going to drop mobs all the way down to here to kill them. So there is this nice little pit, and if you look at the height here, if you look at the top right corner, this is the Y level is 20, and the ocean height, if I swim all the way to the top, way up here, the ocean's up at like 60, so that's like a 40 block drop, and that'll kill anything that falls that distance. I found some really neat designs online about how to make spider farms without using a spider spawner. And you can kind of use some of the nuances of spider spawning to make a farm that only spawns spiders. So there was one tutorial in particular that I found that I was actually able to use parts of to make what I think is going to be a relatively effective spider farm. I will put a link to that in the video description, but I did only use about half of that farm. I used the spawning section idea, but everything past where the spiders drop down, I kind of had to redesign all of that to fit my purposes here. So this chest right here contains everything I'm gonna need to build it. And you can see that is a whole lot of glass and tons of half slabs. And honestly, not a whole lot else. This one's gonna be a bit of a grind to make, but luckily, this pit down here is still within range of the conduit that we made last episode. So all the while I'm down here, I will have night vision and I will have unlimited breathing. So building this is not going to be quite as big of a problem as I thought it was going to be at first. Yeah, so just so long as I can keep these guys out of my way, I think building this is going to go pretty smooth. Well, I'm going to get right on that now, and I'll be back with you whenever this is done. Okay, the ocean level spider farm is done, and here's the big reveal. Yeah, pretty impressive, huh? Oh, it's funny. Looking at this side, it doesn't look like much, but most of it is below sea level. So let me show you how this works. So let's see, I should get my night vision on. There we go. So basically, at the top of the water here, this is the spawning chamber. And this is all just one block high, so the only thing that can spawn in here are spiders. Oh, and you saw, I don't know if you saw them, two of them just did, and they just fell down. Here we go. And this top block has to be not a full block. So even though the spiders can spawn in a one block tall area, the block above it can't be a full block. So I had to use half slabs for this top one. So you can see them running. So now, in the middle here, there is a golem hanging out, and the spiders try to attack the golem. So they run over and then they fall down into this little bin catch basin here. And then at this point, oh, we got another visitor. Let me take care of him. Stop interrupting my demo. There we go. So then when the spiders get to here, you know, sometimes they swim and stay at the top. And sometimes when they fall down here, they'll grab onto the glass and they'll climb all the way back up. But eventually they will get knocked down and they will fall to their death. And I have an extra golem down here at the bottom just in case one of them like falls down and like latches onto the glass right before they hit the bottom. This guy will take care of them. So in the little bit of time it's been running since I finished it, I've already gotten, let's see. Oh, look at that. About half a stack of string already. Oh, and I guess some skeleton jockeys must have spawned as well because I got a bow and some arrows. All right, so it's working. Let's see. Now, one thing that's really cool about this, you'll kind of see the inside. You're like, why does it look like weird like this with different colors? So I did take one piece of advice, and this was from Just Lola from several episodes ago. And Just Lola's suggestion was to hide the mob farm over there with like pixel art. Of course, I ended up doing the lighthouse instead. So instead, I went ahead and chose to hide this one with pixel art. Well, here, let me sleep and turn the lights back on. Okay, so let me pop into FreeCam and show you what this pixel art is, and it's a Nautilus shell. So the actual pixel art I found online, I'm not artistic enough to create that myself, but I had to figure out how to make it work with different Minecraft blocks. And it looks a little bit weird and splotchy here, but the reason why, I'm gonna pull up the map. On the map, it looks perfect. So you've kind of got the gray shading, you got multiple kind of shades of red popping in here and little shines of light on the shell. Yeah, so I think that actually works out really well. So anyway, yep, that's how the farm works. It's not going to be like crazy efficient or anything. It's only going to spawn spiders when I'm kind of like running around this area or probably in my base there. And of course, you know, tons of caves and stuff underneath here. There might be things spawning. But some spiders will spawn in there. And of them, some of them will die before they despawn. So it will be a nice, slow, steady source of string for me. Again, it's not going to be the most efficient thing in the world, but I don't really need tons of string. I just need enough to make enough scaffolding to use. So now that leads me to one last farm for this episode, and this is going to be another big one. This is the one I needed all that cobblestone for. And if you can see back there, I have a whole litter of cats. I kept Scar and Ruby over there pretty busy while I was building that farm, and I bred up a bunch of cats. So a bunch of cats, a ton of cobblestone. What do you guys think I'm going to be building? If you said sheep farm, you're wrong. But if you said creeper farm, You're absolutely correct. One of the oldest directives I have was from episode 3, and that was from Tim Loves Milk, and Tim Loves Milk wanted me to make a creeper farm. And then a couple episodes after that, Epic Ness suggested I make a creeper farm in the jungle that looks like a creeper face. And now that I have enough resources to do it, I'm actually going to go ahead and build it now. So I have all the cobblestone that I collected from the cobblestone farm, and I have a bunch of material here in an ender chest that I'm going to need for this. And I am going to have to cart all of this down. I'm going to go to the jungle down in Southland and build it there. But another thing I'm going to have to do is like carry all those cats down there with me. But let me head down there, bring down the material, and then I'll kind of show you the area where I'm going to build this and get that one started. Okay, we have made it down here to the beach. And no, that's not one of my parrots. That's just a random one that's, I guess, just trying to say hi to the cats. So anyway, if you've seen some of my episodes, you're probably starting to recognize this beach now. I've been landing here to collect parrots and ocelots and everything else. This has kind of been my landing spot for this jungle down here in the south. So I felt like this was going to be a pretty fitting place to do the creeper farm. And I decided I was going to build it right up on that hill there. Kind of right behind those first few trees, so you'd see the face kind of poking out right here, kind of greeting you as you came up to this island. So I did bring all my materials with me. I've got a bunch of them here in the boat and a bunch in this ender chest. And I'm going to have to go clear some trees and stuff and make a little bit of space. And then I'm going to start building this thing. And yeah, all these kitties, pretty soon you're going to be spending, well, the rest of your days inside of a creeper farm. So enjoy the sunlight while you got it. You know, say hi to the birds, breathe the fresh air. And, okay, I'm starting to feel a little sad. I'm not going to think about that anymore. All right, so anyway, let me go ahead and start clearing some land up there and get this thing built, and I'll be right back with you. Alrighty, well, this build is done. Check that out. It's right over my shoulder here. That looks awesome sitting up in the trees like that. Oh, it looks so good. But yeah, I kept some foliage around it. There was one big oak tree that was blocking like most of the face. I went ahead and knocked that one off. I think I'm going to leave those other ones there. I kind of like that overgrown look. Let's go take a closer look at it now. Yep, so here it is. I love the way this creeper face came out. Let's see, the instructions here were to make a creeper farm in the jungle that looks like a cobblestone creeper face. So I definitely wanted to keep with the cobblestone. So of course I used a mix of cobble and mossy. And then for the creeper face, I used the cobble deep slate walls so that we would get the darkness and a little bit of that inset, but yet still keep that cobblestone look to go with the directives. And I think this came out really nice. As far as the farm, it's a pretty simple, I don't know what you want to call it, the bow tie farm, the hourglass farm. It's pretty much, you can find these everywhere online. There's tutorials all around that can show you how to make those. But this is basically just 4 of those farms stacked up on top of each other. And I have an entrance down into where the creepers will drop their loot, right down this hole here. And, well, it looks like I might have actually had one spawn already. That's pretty cool. Okay, so I think, let's see. Of course, they're not really spawning in here because I'm so close to it. But say, for example, I came out here and I wanted to just hang out and spawn some creepers. Of course, I could go up in the sky and make a spawn platform, but I kind of don't want to do that. I kind of like the aesthetics of it, the way it is. So I can either just kind of run around the jungle here, maybe park myself on a tree somewhere over here. Let's see, you know, maybe if I were to like kind of hang out up here for a while or something, I think I would be at a distance where creepers could spawn in there. Of course, they're going to spawn all over the place as well. And if I want to AFK at this thing, basically I can just kind of come up here on top of it. Is that the top? Yeah, there we go. You can hear all the cats inside meowing. I'm pretty sure if I were to just like take a stack of scaffolding and go all the way up to the top. Yeah, that right there should put me at a height that's high enough that that the entire creeper farm is within my spawn radius, but that a lot of the underground caves and stuff are no longer in my radius. So I could probably hang out here for a while, and we can just see how many creepers show up and just see how effective this thing is. Oh wow, I'm really nervous standing up here. I have my hands off my keyboards. I do not even want to tap any of my directional movement keys right now. Okay, well, I'm still AFK on top of the thing, but I'm down here in free cam, and it looks like it is working great. There are creepers spawning and falling down here, and they kind of come to the end here, and the water keeps pushing them into these campfires. Even if they try to jump out, they keep landing in them, and eventually they will die from that and drop their loot into those hoppers. Oh, look, yeah, pretty steady stream of them coming. Nice. This is awesome. This is going to work out really well. Well, it's been a minute or two. Let me just hop on down here and just see how many gunpowder we got just in that little bit amount of time. All right, it probably won't be too many. It was only a minute or two. Yeah, there we go. 20. That's pretty good. All right, well, I'm going to head back home and put some of my stuff away and see you guys in just a second. Oh, that looks so good. Looks so good. All right, well, I think we're going to call the episode here, but now this is where you come in. I need you to tell me what to do next episode. So when you're thinking about what suggestions to put on the board, one thing you might want to consider is like, where am I in the game? What resources do I have? What resources do I not have? What am I going to need to continue in the game? There's been so many great suggestions for builds, but before I can build some of them, I need the resources. So if you kind of think about that, and stuff like the farms we made today, that's going to help with resources for builds in the future for sure. So hop down in the comments and leave me some suggestions, and we'll see which ones I can get to next episode. And until next time, you take care of yourself, okay? Bye-bye.